Welcome, gents. What does it really mean to walk a path that most people cannot even see, let alone understand? This is not a question for the masses. This is a question for the few, the ones who choose solitude not because they are forced into it, but because they recognize its power. If you're a Sigma male, you already know this life is not about blending in. It is about building strength in silence, shaping your mind like a weapon, and learning to play the long game while others are distracted by the noise around them. This video is not for everyone. It is for the loners who do not need a crowd to feel alive. It is for the ones who can spend hours alone and still feel complete. It is for those who see life the way Machiavelli once described it, as a battlefield where patience, cunning, and strategy outshine noise and vanity. Understand this, solitude is not your weakness. It is your training ground. While others chase approval and exhaust themselves in empty competition, you sharpen your mind in silence. You know that power does not always roar. Sometimes it waits, it watches, it whispers, and it strikes only when the timing is perfect. So, if you find yourself alone, do not doubt the path you are on. This space was built for you. This message is yours. And this journey belongs only to the few who are strong enough to carry it. Let's dive into Gents. Number 1. He knows that to win in life one must sometimes lose willingly, giving up small battles to secure the larger war. This is not weakness, it is discipline. It is the ability to see beyond the moment and focus on what really matters. Too many people waste their strength fighting every little challenge that comes their way. They want to be right in every argument, they want to win every small competition, and they want to prove a point to people who do not even matter in the long run. The Sigma male with a Machiavellian mind does not play that game. Think about a chessboard. The skilled player will often sacrifice a pawn to protect the queen or to set up a checkmate later. At first glance, it looks like a loss, but the person who understands strategy knows it is a calculated step toward victory. Life works the same way. You may let someone believe they outsmarted you. You may walk away from an argument where others expect you to fight. You may step back from an opportunity that looks tempting now, but would limit your freedom later. In everyday life, this could mean ignoring gossip at work because you know responding would only drag you into pointless drama. It could mean allowing someone to underestimate you because their false confidence keeps them from noticing your next move. It could even mean saving money quietly while others show off, knowing that in time, you will be the one with true control. The Sigma understands that not every battle deserves attention. By letting go of what is small, he positions himself to win what is great. That is not just survival, that is mastery. Number 2, his mind works like a hidden labyrinth. Every path designed with purpose, every dead end intentionally placed to protect his true intentions. To outsiders, this can be confusing, even frustrating, because they cannot figure out what drives him. They think they are close to understanding him, only to realize they have hit a wall. That is exactly how he wants it. Think about the way a labyrinth is built. At first glance, it seems like random twists and turns, but if you look closer, every corner has a reason. The same is true for the Sigma male who thinks like Machiavelli. Every decision, every silence, every move is deliberate. If he chooses not to share something, it is not because he has nothing to say. It is because revealing everything would give others the blueprint to his world. This shows up in everyday situations more than people realize. At work, he might let his colleagues assume he is only doing the bare minimum, while behind the scenes he is mapping out strategies to stay 3 steps ahead. In friendships, he listens far more than he speaks, storing away details that others carelessly reveal without noticing. Even in relationships, he never lays all his cards on the table because he knows that mystery is not weakness but protection. The dead ends in his labyrinth are his way of filtering out people who approach him without genuine respect. Those who are impatient will give up and walk away, and he loses nothing. Those who persist without malice might earn a glimpse of his real depth. But even then, the full design of his mind remains his own. This is why he rarely feels the need to explain himself. He is not hiding, he is safeguarding. And anyone who underestimates the complexity of his labyrinth eventually learns that every wall, every corner, and every silence was crafted with intent. Number 3, the Sigma male knows that power is not loud, it is subtle, it whispers, it observes, and it waits for the right strike. This kind of power does not need to announce itself, because its presence is felt in quiet ways that last longer than any display of noise. Look around in everyday life and you will see the difference. A man who constantly boasts about his strength or his wealth is usually the weakest in the room. He needs to remind people of what he has because he is afraid they might forget. The Sigma male has no such fear. His strength is not in volume but in precision. He moves like a chess master, studying the board, waiting for the right opening, and when he makes his move, it cannot be undone. Imagine a hunter in the wild. He does not chase every movement he sees. He watches, he waits. He blends into the environment until the exact moment arrives, then he strikes clean and without hesitation. That is how the Sigma male understands power. It is not about exhausting yourself in constant displays. It is about conserving energy until the decisive moment. In daily life, this could look like refusing to react when someone tries to provoke you. Instead of responding in anger, you let silence do the work. It could be declining to show off when others brag, only to later reveal results so undeniable that no words are needed. It could even mean holding back from making quick decisions, letting others rush ahead while you gather information and quietly gain the upper hand. True power does not scream for attention. It knows when to stay still and when to act. The Sigma male embodies this truth, reminding us that the sharpest weapons are often kept hidden until the exact moment they are needed. Number 4, he carries the patience to watch others destroy themselves while he remains untouched. This is not indifference, it is wisdom. He understands that people often set their own traps, and instead of rushing to intervene or prove a point, he lets the natural order play out. In everyday life, this patience becomes a powerful weapon. At work, when others scramble to outshine each other with reckless moves, he simply observes. He notices who cuts corners, who makes promises they cannot keep, and who burns out trying to impress the wrong audience. By staying calm and steady, he avoids the chaos and positions himself to benefit when the dust settles. Think about someone who argues in circles, desperate to win attention. Most people get pulled in, wasting energy trying to correct them. The Sigma male does not. He lets the person talk themselves into contradictions, exposing their own flaws without his involvement. When the truth becomes obvious, he stands there untouched because he never needed to enter the fight. This patience is also clear in personal relationships. Instead of rushing to expose a liar or force a confrontation, he allows time to reveal what is hidden. He knows that a person who lives on deception will eventually trip over their own words. He does not have to raise his voice or chase them down. They undo themselves while he remains steady. Patience gives him control because it removes the need for constant reaction. He is not driven by the urgency of others, but by his own timing. That is why he can stay calm when everyone else is restless. He understands that some victories are handed to those who wait, while others exhaust themselves fighting battles that never mattered. The Sigma male does not just wait for the world to show its cracks. He trusts that it always does, and when it does, he is still standing. Number 5, he treats relationships not as necessities but as choices that must prove their value over time. This is not coldness, it is clarity. He understands that giving access to his life is not a right, it is a privilege, and privileges must be earned. Most people treat relationships like lifelines. They fear being alone, so they hold on to anyone who offers attention, even if that person brings more chaos than peace. The Sigma male does not move that way. He is comfortable enough in his own skin that he will not keep people around just to fill silence. He would rather stand alone in truth than be surrounded by company that weakens him. Think of it like a garden. Not every plant deserves to grow there. Some are weeds that steal nutrients while pretending to belong. The Sigma knows how to test the soil. He watches how people behave when they do not need anything from him. He pays attention to whether they add value or drain it. Over time, those who are genuine remain, and those who are not quietly remove themselves. This shows up in everyday life. A friend who only calls when they need help will quickly reveal themselves. A colleague who celebrates your success when it benefits them but disappears when it does not is easy to spot with time. Even in love, he does not rush to trust. He allows actions to match words, and if they do not, he has no hesitation in walking away. By treating relationships as choices, he maintains control of his own space. He does not confuse loyalty with blind acceptance. He understands that value must be proven in consistent ways. That is why the relationships he keeps are strong. They are not built on convenience or fear of loneliness, but on trust that has stood the test of time. For the Sigma male, connection is never about filling gaps. It is about building something solid with those who can stand beside him without breaking. Number 6. The Sigma male recognizes betrayal not as a shock, but as a confirmation of human nature. He understands that loyalty is rare and that people often act out of self-interest when pressure is applied. So when betrayal comes, it does not break him. It only reminds him of a truth he already accepted. Most people take betrayal personally. They ask themselves what they did wrong, or they replay every detail searching for answers. The Sigma does not waste time in that spiral. He sees betrayal as proof that masks eventually fall. If someone chooses to turn against him, it means their loyalty was never real to begin with. And knowing this does not weaken him, it strengthens him. Think about everyday life. A colleague who acts like a friend might suddenly undermine you when a promotion is on the line. A relative who smiles in your face might quietly envy your progress. A partner might speak of love while secretly entertaining other options. These are painful truths, but the Sigma does not collapse under them. He sees them as evidence of what people are capable of when their desires outweigh their commitments. His response is not rage, but adjustment. He does not go out of his way to seek revenge because he knows life has a way of bringing balance. Instead, he withdraws his trust and sharpens his awareness. He learns, he adapts, and he carries the lesson into every future encounter. This perspective gives him resilience. Betrayal cannot surprise him because he never expects perfection from human nature. He knows people can be loyal today and selfish tomorrow. By accepting this reality, he avoids the trap of bitterness. He stays focused on his own path, guarded but not broken. For the Sigma male, betrayal is not the end of trust. It is a reminder that trust must always be tested and never assumed. Number 7. He does not compete for attention. He competes only with his own standard of excellence. This separates him from the crowd because while many chase recognition, he chases mastery. The Sigma male understands that attention fades, but skill, discipline, and consistency leave a permanent mark. Think about how most people operate. They want to be noticed. They compare themselves with co-workers, friends, even strangers online. They measure their worth by how much applause they get. The Sigma male steps away from that cycle. His focus is not on being better than someone else, but on being better than who he was yesterday. Picture a man training in the gym. Others might show off with heavy weights and loud gestures, desperate for approval. The Sigma male trains quietly, refining his form, tracking his progress, and keeping his eyes on long-term results. He is not interested in the noise of the moment. He is interested in the strength that endures when the lights are gone. In work, this same principle applies. While colleagues might battle for praise from the boss, he invests in sharpening his craft. When recognition eventually comes, it is not because he demanded it, but because his results make it impossible to ignore. In friendships and relationships, the same rule holds. He does not try to outshine anyone. Instead, he builds a standard for himself and holds to it with discipline. By competing only with his own excellence, he frees himself from distractions. He does not waste energy proving himself to people who may not even matter in the long run. His victories are private first, public only if they need to be. This is why the Sigma male grows stronger over time. He is not trapped in endless comparisons. He is driven by a standard that only he can set and only he can break. Number 8, he does not seek allies for approval. He chooses allies only when they serve a strategy he already decided upon. This is a crucial difference because most people surround themselves with others just to feel validated or safe. The Sigma male does not operate that way. His alliances are never emotional bandages. They are deliberate moves in a larger plan. Think about how often people collect friends like trophies. They want to show they are popular. They want numbers on their side. They want to feel supported, even if the support is shallow. The Sigma male knows the danger in that. He is not interested in company for the sake of company. For him, the question is simple. Does this person strengthen my mission or weaken it? Imagine a builder constructing a house. Every tool in his hand must have a purpose. If a tool does not fit the job, he puts it back. The Sigma male applies the same logic to people in his life. He may partner with someone for a project, work with someone to gain access to resources, or even align with someone temporarily to reach a goal. But once the goal is complete, he has no problem stepping away. This shows up in daily life clearly. At work, he might choose a colleague who is skilled and focused, not because he wants friendship, but because together they can create results. In personal matters, he may keep his circle small, aligning only with those who understand his values and respect his boundaries. He is careful because he knows the wrong ally can become a liability faster than an enemy. By choosing allies this way, he stays independent. He does not tie his worth to who stands beside him. He already decided his path, and if others fit into it, they are welcome. If not, he moves forward alone without hesitation. Number 9, his independence is not rebellion, it is the refusal to let anyone dictate his pace or direction. The Sigma male understands that freedom is not about fighting authority for the sake of noise. It is about protecting his ability to move on his own terms without being forced into a rhythm that does not fit him. Many people confuse independence with defiance. They think saying no automatically makes someone strong. But true independence is deeper. It is the quiet choice to design life according to your own vision, even when the crowd pressures you to conform. The Sigma male lives by this principle. Think about running a race. Most runners panic when they see someone pass them. They speed up, even if it exhausts them, just so they are not left behind. The Sigma male does not fall for that trap. He runs at his own pace, conserving his energy because he knows the finish line is his alone. In life, he applies this same mindset. He is not concerned with where others are headed. He is focused on his own track, his own timing, his own destination. This shows up in simple everyday situations. At work, he is not pressured into chasing promotions just because everyone else does. He pursues roles that match his vision, even if the recognition comes slower. In relationships, he does not rush commitments to match social expectations. He allows things to unfold at the pace that feels right to him. Even financially, he does not spend money to prove status. He saves, invests, and spends with purpose, regardless of what others think. His independence is not a protest. It is clarity. He is not against the world. He is simply unwilling to surrender his direction to it. That is why he often ends up ahead, not because he ran faster, but because he never let others control his stride. Number 10. He thrives in shadows because he understands that visibility is often a trap that drains freedom. For the Sigma male, being seen by everyone is not always an advantage. In fact, the spotlight can become a prison. When too many eyes are on you, every move is judged, every word is questioned, and your freedom to act without interference begins to shrink. Most people crave attention because they think recognition equals power. They want their names known, their faces remembered, their voices heard everywhere. But attention is expensive. It demands constant performance, and it gives others the power to dictate what you can and cannot do. The Sigma male recognizes this cost, which is why he often prefers to move silently, achieving more in the shadows than most achieve in the open. Think of a skilled fisherman. The loudest splash will scare the fish away, but the patient one who waits quietly by the water returns home with the best catch. The Sigma applies this same principle. He does not announce his every step. He works behind the scenes where nobody is watching, and by the time people notice, his results are undeniable. This shows up in daily life. At work, he may not fight for the loudest voice in meetings, yet his projects quietly outperform the rest. In friendships, he does not need to broadcast his every achievement on social media, but when others see where he stands in life, they realize how far he has come. Even in business, he avoids unnecessary noise, because he knows quiet strategies often yield the biggest wins. He thrives in shadows, not because he fears the light, but because he values freedom over applause. In silence, he is untouchable. In the shadows, he builds without distraction. And when the moment demands it, he steps forward with results so solid that they cannot be ignored. Number 11. He is not interested in being understood by everyone, only in being unmovable in a world full of shifting faces. The Sigma male knows that people change their opinions as easily as they change clothes. Today they might admire you, tomorrow they might doubt you, and the day after that they might pretend they never knew you. To live for their understanding is to live on quicksand. The The Sigma chooses a different path. He does not waste his energy explaining himself to every person who demands answers. He knows that stability comes not from being understood, but from standing firm in what he has decided. When the crowd shifts its direction, he does not shift with it. His anchor is internal, not external. Think about how this shows up in everyday life. At work, trends come and go. One year a skill is praised, the next year it is dismissed. The Sigma does not chase those trends blindly. He builds a foundation that remains valuable no matter how fashions change. In relationships, people sometimes test loyalty, switching moods and expectations as it suits them. Instead of bending to every swing, he holds steady, making it clear that his values do not change with convenience. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The winds twist and howl, carrying leaves and debris in every direction. The Sigma is not one of those leaves. He is the rooted tree that does not move, no matter how loud the storm gets. People may not fully understand his calm, but they cannot deny his strength. He knows that being unmovable invites misunderstanding, but he accepts that. It is the price of clarity. While others bend and shift to stay liked, he remains solid, even if that means standing alone. To him, being misunderstood is survivable, but losing his ground is not. Number 12. His decisions are rarely emotional. They are calculated responses that balance gain and risk with surgical precision. The Sigma male understands that emotions are natural, but they are not reliable guides for action. Anger clouds judgment. Excitement rushes choices. Fear creates hesitation. Instead of letting feelings control his moves, he uses them as signals but not as rulers. Think about how most people react in heated situations. Someone insults them and they lash out instantly, only to regret it later. A tempting opportunity appears, and they jump without checking the details, only to realize they walked into a trap. The Sigma male avoids these mistakes because he pauses. He analyzes. He weighs both the reward and the danger before deciding. This shows up in everyday life. At work, he does not accept every project that promises recognition. He looks at whether the project fits his long-term goals, whether it demands too much time for too little payoff, and whether it puts him in unnecessary conflict. In money matters, he does not spend simply because others are buying. He calculates the real value, thinks about future impact, and then moves. Even in personal relationships, when emotions run high, he steps back. Instead of reacting to every word spoken in heat, he studies patterns over time. That way, his decisions are based on evidence, not impulse. Picture a surgeon holding a scalpel. Every cut must be exact because one wrong move could cause damage. The Sigma approaches decisions with that same mindset. He does not rush. He does not swing wildly. Every choice is deliberate, every action measured, because he knows that precision today creates freedom tomorrow. This is why his life rarely spins out of control. His calm is not luck, it is the result of discipline, of treating every decision as a move on a chessboard where one wrong play can shift the entire game. Number 13. He knows that society often mistakes withdrawal for weakness. Yet in that withdrawal, he sharpens his mind like a blade. People see someone step back, and they assume it is surrender. They assume silence means defeat. But silence is not always the absence of strength. Sometimes silence is the place where strength is created. A Sigma male understands this better than anyone. While the world is busy performing, posting, arguing, and chasing approval, he retreats into his own space. To the outside eye, this withdrawal looks like isolation, but for him it is an arena where his thoughts become sharper, his vision becomes clearer, and his patience becomes stronger. Think of a blacksmith working on steel. The blade is not forged in public. It is hidden in fire, hammered in heat, and cooled in silence until it is sharp enough to cut through anything. The same is true for the Sigma male. His withdrawal is not escape. It is his fire. It is his sharpening. In everyday life, this looks simple. While others are arguing over gossip, he is reading, studying, or observing patterns people overlook. While others spend nights drowning in noise, he is planning his next move with clarity. What society calls loneliness, he calls training. What others dismiss as weakness, he knows is preparation. That is why when he steps back into the world, he carries an edge that others cannot understand. He did not waste his silence, he turned it into power. The truth is this: withdrawal is only weakness when it leaves you empty, but when it is intentional, when it is used to sharpen the mind, it becomes the most dangerous form of strength. That is the secret the Sigma male lives by, and it is why he can stand unshaken in a world that never stops moving. In final words, have you ever wondered why your path feels heavier but somehow sharper than everyone else's? That is because the life of a Sigma male is not built for comfort. It is built for clarity, for resilience, and for a level of strength most people will never touch. This video was never meant for the crowd. It is meant for the few, for the loners who understand that the silence of their journey is not a weakness but a test. The truth is simple. You will often stand alone. People will misread you, doubt you, and even betray you, yet in all of this you remain unshaken. Why? Because your strength was never borrowed from the opinions of others. It was forged in solitude, sharpened through patience, and guided by a strategy you designed for yourself. Every challenge you face is not there to break you, but to carve you into someone the world cannot control. Every betrayal you endure is not the end of trust, but a reminder to guard your space wisely. Every small loss you accept is not defeat, but a step toward the larger victory that only you can see. So if you ever doubt your path, remember this. You are not behind, you are not lost. You are moving at your own pace, in your own design, with your own standard. The world may never fully understand you, but it was never supposed to. What matters is that you remain steady, unmoved, and unbroken in a world that constantly shifts. This video is not for everyone. It is only for you, the loner, the Sigma male who carries the mind of Machiavelli. Keep walking your path. You are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.